Welcome to part 2 of our journey into the mysteries of America's national parks. In this gripping video, we delve into the heart-wrenching and mysterious disappearances of 4 individuals from America's cherished national parks. We begin with the baffling case of David Gonzales, who vanished from the San Bernardino National Forest, leaving behind a trail of questions. We then journey to the scenic but haunting expanses of Grand Teton National Park, exploring the high-profile and tragic disappearance of Gabby Petito, a case that captured the nation's attention. We'll delve into the enigmatic vanishing of Luing in the Smoky Mountain National Park, a disappearance shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. Join us as we explore the complex intertwining of nature's majesty and mystery, the impact on the families left behind, and the relentless search for answers in these perplexing cases. This is a journey into the unknown, where the beauty of America's national parks meets the shadowy, unresolved mysteries that lie within. This is part 2 of our exploration of the mysteries shrouding our national parks. This is Haunted Authentic. David Gonzales' disappearance in the San Bernardino National Park is a tragic and mysterious case. The incident occurred in July 2004 when David, a 9-year-old boy, went on a camping trip with his family to the Big Bear area in the San Bernardino National Forest. David, accompanied by his family, was excited about the camping experience in the picturesque surroundings of the San Bernardino National Forest. The family set up their campsite near the Hannah Flat Campground, a popular spot for visitors seeking the natural beauty and tranquility of the forest. On the morning of July 31st, 2004, David asked his mother for the car keys as he wanted to get some cookies from their car. The vehicle was parked approximately 100 yards away from their campsite. His mother handed him the keys, and David set off towards the car. This was the last time David was seen by his family. When David did not return after a few minutes, his family became concerned and started searching for him in the nearby area. After failing to locate him, they alerted the campground authorities, who in turn notified the local law enforcement and Forest Service. A massive search operation was launched involving over 200 people, including law enforcement officers, volunteers, search and rescue teams, and tracking dogs. Helicopters and thermal imaging devices were also employed. The search area was extensive, covering rugged terrain with dense vegetation, steep slopes, and potential wildlife hazards. The search teams faced several challenges. The terrain was difficult to navigate, and the presence of natural hazards like deep ravines and dense underbrush made the operation even more complex. The search was further hampered by varying weather conditions. One of the most baffling aspects of the case was the lack of any significant clues. Despite the extensive and thorough search efforts, no trace of David or his belongings was found in the days following his disappearance. The tracking dogs failed to pick up any consistent scent trail. Several theories were proposed regarding David's disappearance. These ranged from him getting lost in the dense forest, potential animal attacks, or even an abduction. However, without concrete evidence, none of these theories could be confirmed. The official search operation was eventually scaled down, but the case remained open. Over the years, periodic efforts and revisits to the case were made by law enforcement and volunteer groups. David's family continued to seek answers and hoped for new information that could shed light on his disappearance. In June 2005, remains were discovered approximately 1 mile from the spot where David was last seen and were positively identified as skeletal remains of David's body. Despite forensic testing, a concise manner of death could never be established. Early theories of a mountain lion attack were unsubstantiated due to the marks on the remains being post-mortem. Investigators were again left with little go-on for a precise conclusion on how the boy died. David Gonzales's case remains one of the most perplexing disappearances in the history of the San Bernardino National Forest. It serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictability and potential dangers of wilderness areas, and how in one moment tragedy can strike on an otherwise peaceful day. Erin Corwin, a 19-year-old woman, mysteriously disappeared from Joshua Tree National Park in California, sparking a massive and complex investigation. She was last seen on June 28, 2014, when she left her home on the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center in 29 Palms, where she lived with her husband, Marine Corporal John Corwin. Erin, reportedly pregnant at the time, had told her husband she was going to the national park to scout hiking trails for an upcoming visit with her mother. When she failed to return, her husband reported her missing the next day. The search for Erin Corwin was extensive and challenging due to the rugged terrain of Joshua Tree National Park, a vast and arid area known for its stark beauty and desert conditions. Investigators, volunteers, and search teams scoured the park, facing the harsh desert environment. As the search continued, details emerged suggesting a possible affair between Erin and Christopher Lee, a former Marine and a neighbor of the Corwins. The case took a turn when, on August 16, 2014, Erin's body was discovered at the bottom of a mine shaft in a remote area of the park. This grim discovery shifted the investigation into a homicide inquiry. The autopsy revealed that Erin had died from strangulation and that her fall down the mine shaft was likely an attempt to hide her body. Attention quickly focused on Christopher Lee, who was arrested and charged with Erin's murder. The investigation uncovered evidence of the affair between Lee and Erin, and it was suggested that the motive for the murder was to prevent the exposure of their relationship and Erin's pregnancy. During the trial, Lee initially claimed he was not guilty, but later admitted to strangling Erin in a moment of anger. He was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Erin Corwin's disappearance and murder brought to light issues of domestic violence, infidelity, and the challenges faced by military families. The case also raised concerns about safety in remote areas like Joshua Tree National Park. Erin's tragic story is a somber reminder of the complexities and sometimes hidden dangers present in personal relationships, as well as the enduring impact such events have on families and communities. Gabby Petito's disappearance and subsequent tragic death in 2021 garnered widespread media attention and sparked a national conversation about domestic violence and missing persons cases. Gabby Petito, a 22-year-old woman from Blue Point, New York, embarked on a cross-country road trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, in July 2021. They traveled in a white Ford Transit van, which they had converted into a camper, documenting their journey on social media. The trip took an ominous turn in late August when Petito's communication with her family abruptly ceased. Concerned, her family reported her missing on September 11, 2021, after not hearing from her since late August. The last known location of Gabby Petito was in Grand Teton National Park, Wyoming. This information set the focus of the search efforts in that area. The FBI, along with local law enforcement and national park rangers, conducted extensive ground and aerial searches in the park. The rugged and expansive terrain of Grand Teton, known for its mountainous landscapes and remote areas, posed significant challenges to the search operation. In a tragic development, on September 19, 2021, human remains matching Petito's description were discovered near the Spread Creek dispersed camping area in the Grand Teton National Forest, adjacent to Grand Teton National Park. An autopsy later confirmed the remains to be those of Gabby Petito and determined the manner of death to be homicide. The case took another turn when Brian Laundrie returned to his home in Florida without Petito in early September and subsequently went missing himself. His remains were found in the Carlton Reserve in Sarasota County, Florida in late October, with the cause of death determined to be suicide. A notebook recovered near his remains included a written statement claiming responsibility for Petito's death. Gabby Petito's disappearance and death led to an outpouring of public interest and sympathy, highlighting issues related to domestic violence and the challenges faced in missing persons cases, especially those involving young women. The intense media coverage and public engagement also raised questions about disparities in attention given to missing persons cases, particularly involving people of color or from marginalized communities. Her story continues to resonate, serving as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities and dangers that can be encountered even in seemingly idyllic settings. The disappearance of Derek Luing in Great Smoky Mountains National Park is a case shrouded in mystery and unanswered questions. In March 2012, Luing, then a 24-year-old from Louisville, Tennessee, vanished in the park, sparking a complex and extensive search operation. He was last seen by his family a few days before his disappearance, and his car was found abandoned at the Newfound Gap parking area, a popular starting point for several trails within the park. The search for Luing was exhaustive and challenging. Great Smoky Mountains National Park, renowned for its vast expanse and rugged mountainous terrain, encompasses over 522,000 acres of wilderness straddling the border between North Carolina and Tennessee. This terrain includes dense forests, steep cliffs, and a network of trails and backcountry areas, all of which present significant obstacles to search and rescue operations. Despite the mobilization of numerous resources, including park rangers, search dogs, and helicopters, no trace of Luing was found in the initial search efforts. Compounding the mystery were the items discovered in Luing's car, which included a backpack, food, and other hiking essentials, indicating a level of preparedness for backcountry travel. However, his toothbrush and phone charger, typically essential items for an extended trip, were found, suggesting a return plan to the vehicle. Additionally, a note was found stating he wanted to go on an adventure, adding a layer of ambiguity to his intentions and state of mind. Several theories have been proposed to explain Luing's disappearance. Some speculate he may have ventured off trail and gotten lost or injured in the park's challenging terrain, a scenario that is not uncommon in such vast wilderness areas. Others consider the possibility of an intentional disappearance, though this remains speculative without concrete evidence. The dense forests and rugged landscape of the park could hide evidence of what happened, making it difficult to draw definitive conclusions. The case of Derek Luing remains open and unsolved, with periodic renewed efforts to search for clues. His disappearance serves as a poignant reminder of the unpredictability and potential dangers of wilderness areas, highlighting the importance of preparation and caution in such environments. The mystery continues to resonate, leaving both family members and the public with lingering questions about his fate. Thank you for joining us on our two-part series following the mysteries of America's national parks. We hope that you enjoyed the brief departure from exploring haunted locations in the United States and look forward to producing more of this content in the future. Please consider subscribing to the channel and turning notifications on so you can be alerted when special presentations like the one you just watched or our normal content is released. As always, suggestions for topics and locations to explore are always welcome at hauntedauthentic@gmail.com.